A committee on civil service reforms, which I have the honor to chair, has held over 15 detailed meetings, engaged academics, corporate leaders, and civil servants, and studied over 15 international models, including lessons from Pakistan Army's merit-based HR human resource system. The outcome is a comprehensive framework to transform Pakistan's governance into what we call the smart civil service model. SMART stands for specialized, meritocratic, accountable, rooted in people, and tech-enabled, a rethinking of how government recruits, trains, evaluates, and empowers its human capital. S of specialized means the age of generalists is over. The problems of today, from climate finance to AI governance, require domain expertise. We must move towards specialized recruitment through the CSS exam, aligning candidates with sectoral occupation groups from day one. In addition, we have proposed a national executive service, opening a share of senior positions, grade 20 and above, to private sector professionals, academics, and experts through a transparent, competitive process. This will ensure that the right person is in the right job, a simple principle that has transformed governance in Singapore, South Korea, and New Zealand. M, meritocratic and leadership-oriented, means our civil service currently follows a rectangular structure where almost all officers rise to senior ranks primarily based on their seniority and tenures. We must move to a pyramid structure where promotion is based on performance, leadership, learning, and outcomes. We are proposing a multi-tiered performance evaluation system with biannual feedback, upgraded training institutions under a new National University of Public Administration to integrate training, research, and leadership development. Curriculum reforms in the training that include AI, data analytics, emotional intelligence, and behavioral economics. The establishment division will be transformed into a human resource and organizational development division, focusing on talent management rather than clerical control or just being a print house for posting and transfer orders. A, accountable and outcomes oriented. Governance must shift from process compliance to results delivery. Every ministry will sign an annual performance agreement with the Prime Minister, translating national goals into key performance indicators for officers and departments. We proposed an independent performance observatory in the Cabinet Division to conduct third-party evaluations of the outcomes. This will make the bureaucracy accountable for results, not just adherence to rules, are rooted in people. A truly legitimate civil service must reflect the diversity of the society it serves. We will ensure that talent from every region, language, and background can compete fairly. To do this, the CSS exam's language component will be restructured, allowing candidates to attempt both in Urdu or English to have a level playing field for all the applicants. Almost 90% of the candidates who fail CSS exam fail in English newspaper. And I have a story. We had a member, social service and planning commission, who had masters from Oxford University, and he took CSS exam and he failed in English paper. And then now later on he has won Bill and Melinda and Gates scholarship to go for PhD at Cambridge University. Now a talent of that caliber was not considered good enough to qualify English language paper, and likewise, we reject, I think, a great pool of our talent just by imposing English as a filter, and I always have maintained, in our case, we have used English as a language of elite capture, not as a language of development. The focus will shift from English proficiency to critical thinking, analytical reasoning, and policy understanding. Affirmative action will ensure greater representation for women, minorities, and underrepresented regions. A bureaucracy that is rooted in people is one that earns their trust and legitimacy. T. Tech-enabled, innovative, and transparent. Technology is the most powerful tool for transparency and efficiency. We are automating the Federal Public Service Commission to reduce the recruitment cycle from 2 years to 6 months. Private sector experts and IT professionals will join the commission to strengthen oversight. We are also promoting data-driven governance through the Pakistan Bureau of Statistics and the National Data Portal, which will underpin all policy decisions with evidence. We were also able to carry out South Asia's first digital census in 2023. A tech-enabled civil service is not just faster, it is fairer, more transparent, and more responsive to citizens. The SMART model is part of our broader vision to make Pakistan's government a high-performance organization, efficient, ethical, and citizen-focused. The world is not waiting for us. If we do not modernize our governance, we risk being left behind in the digital economy, the climate transition, and the knowledge revolution. Our reform is not about dismantling the civil service. It is about revitalizing and renewing it. We want to resolve the prestige of public service and equip our officers with the tools, incentives, and purpose to lead Pakistan into the future. Punjab University, with its century-long legacy, must become a think tank for governance innovation. We must create public policy labs where researchers, students, and policymakers co-create solutions to real-world challenges. And I always say that in this new knowledge economy, all our vice chancellors are the core commanders of the knowledge revolution that has now come into place. And this knowledge revolution is shaking all the pillars of the previous industrial revolution landscape. So all the solutions have to come through universities. You know what makes United States a superpower? It is not its arsenal. It is the ecosystem that its top universities have created. All the solutions, all the great ideas, all the defense equipment, all the innovation in business, economy, everything comes from the universities. So therefore, now universities have to rethink their role in this new economy. And that is why I see a session on higher education reform. We have set out a 7-point performance audit framework for the universities. And each university will be evaluated, 1, on its academic excellence, 2, its research and innovation, how many patents are there, how many patents are registered internationally, 3, academia-industry linkage. What is the commercialization of the research that is produced in the labs? We don't want impact factor general publications which only build CVs of some researchers or professors. We want, as Professor also mentioned, impact on the lives of our people with that research and the investment that we have made, billions of rupees in the laboratories of our universities. So what is the academia-industry link? To commercialize and to put to practice the knowledge and the innovation that takes place in the universities. 4, what is the contribution of the university towards its communities? Universities are not just supposed to be ivory towers where there are, star-studded faculty members delivering research. it also has a responsibility beyond its four walls. How is it serving its community? How is it serving those who are not part of the university campus? Is it able to extend its knowledge pool or reserve to serve those who are not fortunate enough to attend university? How is it extending its services to the universities? Fifth, what is the technology enablement of that university? Technology has to be the backbone of every university in this digital revolution. Sixth, what is the corporate governance in a university? If university is not a high performance organization, it is not practicing the best of the best management practices, how can it really deliver high quality results? So it must be a model of good corporate governance. And seventh, what is it producing? What is the quality of product it produces? Not just in marketability of its product, but also in terms of citizenship, in terms of ethics and values. What kind of creature is coming out of this whole system? Do we have the right kind of citizens, right kind of young men and women equipped with ethics, values, and all the skills that they need to be successful in life? So a holistic evaluation of the product that these universities are producing. So this is a 7-point framework that we have for the university. So therefore, I would say that Punjab University should take lead for this public policy lab. At the regional level, South Asian countries share similar administrative legacies. Why not launch a South Asian governance innovation network to share reform experiences, policy research and training programs? And through our Honorable Minister and High Commissioner, we can make a start by having Pakistan and Bangladesh, who share a lot of things in common, to set up such innovation networks in governance. Together we can create a South Asian model of 21st century administration rooted in local realities but globally competitive. The state of the future must not be a relic of colonial control, it must be an engine of national transformation. The SMART model is our roadmap to build a civil service that is specialized in skill, meritocratic in spirit, accountable in performance, rooted in people, and tech-enabled in operation. Let us remember, institutions don't change overnight, but reform delayed is reform denied. We owe it to our youth, our taxpayers, and our nation's future to create a governance system that can meet the demands of the changing world. As we look forward towards Pakistan's goal to become a $1 trillion economy by 2035 and a $3 trillion economy by 2047, when we will celebrate, inshallah, centennial of Pakistan's independence, let us commit to building a smart government for a smart Pakistan. This will only happen if we also become a smart nation, one that values peace over conflict, stability over chaos, continuity of policies over policy shocks, reform over the preservation of the status quo, and above all, also takes responsibility for its future. And I would tend to agree that one of the major problems is in our part of the world is that we have an unthankful elite. When I was doing very early on Vision 2010 in 97, 98, each of those experiences got disrupted with political shocks, changes, and we could not move forward. And I hope that now we have learned our mistakes and we can, have more stability. So when I used to visit people from the elite, so they would always share despondency کہ جی آپ کیا کر رہے ہیں, چھوڑیں, کیا ہے, کچھ بھی نہیں ہونا, ادھر یہ نہیں ہو. But the ones who have not had any share in the progress of the country, they still believe in this country and they still want to do something for this country. So I think this ungrateful, unthankful elite must also realize its responsibility, that it is time for them to also contribute. And all of us should work together as Team Pakistan to make sure that we are able to achieve our results. So once again, thank you very much, Pakistan. Zindabad.